My name's Becca and welcome to my January wrap up. So January ended up being a really good reading month for me in the end. I managed to get 9 books off of my TBR. Unfortunately 3 of these were DNFs, but everything else I read all the way through I really enjoyed, so let's just get right into it. The first thing I managed to read was Marvel 1602 by Neil Gaiman because I wanted to start this year and this decade off right, and there is no other way for me to start off a year apart from reading 1602, and as per usual I absolutely love it. I gave it 5 stars. I keep on noticing new things in this series that I've never noticed before, and I just generally think it's absolutely genius, so naturally, like I said, it was another 5-star read for me, and it will always be a 5-star read for me. I then tried to read Dracula by Bram Stoker, and that didn't go anywhere near as well, I'm not gonna lie. I got about 50 pages in and unfortunately DNF'd it. Simply because I think I just don't get along with classics. I think I just have a genuine thing against classics for no apparent reason further than the fact that I just can't read them and I find them confusing. I don't really get along with the writing style or anything, and it's really annoying. But it's just something I'm having to deal with at the moment. It was an interesting idea for a story and I fully respect that it is a classic, but it just wasn't for me. The TV show by the BBC, on the other hand, was definitely for me. I was a bit iffy on the ending, but that's just how things go, I guess. I still really enjoyed the TV show, so I still got a bit of vampire action in there that I actually enjoyed this month. I then went on to The Immortal Rules, and unfortunately this was a DNF at about 200 pages because I found this very tropey for 2012, unfortunately, and it just didn't quite work for me, I've got to say. There was a lot of girl hate in this that was like instant girl hate instead of having any sort of reason for it. The main character was hanging around with a whole bunch of humans despite the fact that she's a vampire and they're running from vampires, and she's constantly drawing attention to herself instead of hiding underneath the radar, which drove me insane. And there was this sort of romance happening with one of the boys in that group, and I just wasn't here for it, I guess. I really wasn't here for it. I may go back to this later on when I'm more in a 2012 sort of tropey mood, but right now, not for me, I'm afraid. But in better news, I read The Light Fantastic and thoroughly enjoyed myself. Obviously, this is a Terry Pratchett book, and I absolutely adore Terry Pratchett's Discworld, but this was a brilliant fun read about Rincewind and Two Flower and Conan and everybody else. I loved reading it. I loved seeing the wizards from the Unseen University. I loved some of the lines that Death had in this one, and it was just generally brilliant, and I gave it 4 stars. I also then read Death Notes volumes 2 and 3, which were really good fun as well. Admittedly, I did get a bit confused in the middle of them because they are crime drama-y type things, and quite frankly crime drama does confuse me when I'm reading it compared to watching it on the TV, but I still did really enjoy these mangas and I gave them 4 stars each. I then went on to The Night Country and absolutely love this one. I've got to admit, I absolutely love this one. I love the creepy nature of it. Even though there was a bit of a murder mystery in it, this didn't confuse me, funnily enough, and I just generally absolutely loved it, and I gave it 4 stars, and I cannot wait to read Tales from the Hinterland next year. I'm just so excited for that. I love this series so much. I also read A Heart So Fierce and Broken, and this one, I've got to admit, I absolutely loved. I absolutely loved this one. Even though it was a bit romancy and stuff like this, I still really enjoyed it. And I think the reason why I enjoyed this one so much is because Gray and Leah Mara really reminded me of a more romantic version of Geralt and Ciri from The Witcher. Don't ask me why. I just felt like they were very Geralt and Ciri in a lot of ways, and I absolutely love that about this book. I love this book in general, and I am sitting here screaming at that cliffhanger ending, quite frankly, because obviously I didn't realise there was a 3rd book. I thought this was a duology, and now I'm panicking because I've got to wait another year for the next one. And then finally I tried to read We Hunt the Flame, and unfortunately this was a DNF at about 150 pages for me, which is really sad because this has every sort of trope that I'd usually absolutely love in a book, but unfortunately it just didn't hit that point for me, and I think it's because I just could not connect to the characters in this one. Even though I really wanted to, I was totally like really wanted to like these characters, I just couldn't connect to them for some reason. I don't know why. It could have been because I was ill at the time, because I was quite ill when I was reading this book, I don't know. But to be honest, I do think I'm going to go back to this book eventually because quite frankly, I do think I will enjoy it at some point, but for now it just wasn't for me, and I'm just going to blame illness, I'm not going to lie. And apart from that, I did also manage to read my fanfiction that I also got from the Bookopoly board. Quite frankly, I had 9 pages, I managed to knock it down to 8 pages, then I got hold of a whole load of recommendations list, knocked it up to 10 pages, and then knocked it back down to 9 pages, so I'm exactly where I was before, but I have read a whole load of fanfiction, so I'm not entirely bothered about it, I'm not gonna lie. And apart from that, I've also managed to watch a couple of TV shows, one of which is Dracula, like I mentioned. I also restarted Westworld, because obviously Westworld is coming in March, and I just really loved the TV show, and I wanted to refresh myself before I watched the next season as to what happened in the previous 2 seasons, and I'm really enjoying that rewatch. And I also managed to carry on watching Star Trek Next Generation, and I'm really enjoying that. So overall, it wasn't really that bad of a month in terms of reading and watching TV, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up, comment down below with what you read last month and what you watched last month, I'd love to know. I'll also leave a link down below to all of my social media if you want to check out. And if you want to see any more of my videos, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time guys, bye!